Okay, good evening again, like you can see me now. Can y'all hear us? Okay. Tonight's speaker is Serena, and I'm not gonna try to say that again. I apologize, I closed the computer. Again, our speaker is Serena from Computer Heaven. She is the Director of Outreach, and her topic, I asked her to address computer sales and other Computer Heaven store offerings, such as refurbished computers, electronics, repairs, and etc. I know Serena is going to have a wonderful presentation because if you remember, she came to our August or September meeting when we had the recycle presentation from the group, November meeting. She wanted to know the audience that she would be addressing and what kind of information you and questions you would be asking. So I know she was very serious about this. Every time I emailed her, she immediately responded. And she has been looking forward to this presentation because she said it in every email. So I know that she is serious, and I think she's a hard worker over there at Computer Heaven. So I'm going to turn it right over to Director of Outreach, Serena from Computer Heaven.
All right, thank you. So, like she said, my name is Serena. I do, while I am in charge of outreach, I do a few other things at Computer Heaven too. I do marketing and quality control, as well. But I have kind of done a lot of different, I've had a lot of different hats at that store. So, I've been there about a total of 3 years altogether. For the first year, I was just a regular sales associate. For the year following, I was the assistant sales manager. And now I am, well, jack of all trades, basically, for the store. So I do a little bit of everything. So Computer Heaven has been a staple in Baton Rouge for a very long time. We opened up here in 1995. So this year is our 30th anniversary here. So our owner, his name is Darren, originally started out the store as a consignment shop. That's all he did was consignment, barely a profit. He really did build it up from the ground up. We are also a full service repair department. So we can do just about anything when it comes to computers. There are certain things that we cannot do that have to be sent out, such like data recovery, like a smashed hard drive or something like that. But most things we can do in-house. So Computer Heaven is made up of about 3 different departments. So we have our regular sales department. That's when you first come in, the people that help you. Those are the sales people in our sales department. Then, of course, we have our tech department consisting of a few different technicians. And lesser known is our business department. We have an entire department just dedicated to business IT that we offer to small businesses. So kind of like I touched on, or like she had touched on earlier, we do sell computers and computer accessories. Mainly what we do is refurbished computers, and then we build our own computers in-house. So if you were to come to us for a desktop, we build it here in-house. We're not selling you a Dell or an HP. We're selling you something that we picked out, we put together, and we're confident with, hence the warranty that comes with the computers. So moving on. So for our service department, we are large. So we service at least 400 computers a month. It is a lot. Our technicians are working from the time that they get there to the time that they leave, trying to get all of these machines, computers, devices out in a timely manner. So as far as what we work on in the service department, obviously computers, Macs, we do printers, and we also do hard drives, hence like data backup and recovery and whatnot. Some of the main services that we offer, you can see just general diagnostics, hardware replacement, virus removal, screen replacement, custom PC builds, computer upgrades, OS upgrades, and even remote support for certain things too. So our sales team, we kind of like I touched on a little bit earlier, we do both the new and refurbished computers. We have new and refurbished components alongside the computers as well. So for instance, if you have like an older computer that maybe takes old RAM, it's really, really hard to find that RAM new. So we actually do have used like original just DDR RAM. That's not really found anywhere else anymore. We do refurbished Macs as well. We don't sell brand new ones for licensing reasons. And gaming laptops and desktops as well. So the gaming desktop, so I'm sure if y'all or y'all's children or grandchildren, that's kind of the whole rage these days, is having the gaming computer, especially the ones with the flashy lights. That is kind of the thing for kids and people around my age today. They're starting to kind of move away from like your PlayStations and stuff like that, and going more towards computers where there's a higher level of customization for what they want to do. Now, as far as accessories go, we sell just about everything you would need for a computer. So alongside, laptops, alongside like mice, keyboards, monitors, stuff like that. We also keep in stock over 500 different cables. And these cables are for anything, really. Anything that can go onto a computer, we have the cable for it somewhere. I might have to look for it a little bit, but I'll find it for you. Okay, so our business division. That's a little bit of a lesser known part of Computer Heaven. We have one gentleman who is in charge of the entire thing. His name is Mr. Hansen. He's been doing this for us for a very long time. He's extremely good at what he does. And he's just about 24/7 for his clients. So basically what he focuses on is like the proactive maintenance part of it. So for a business's computers, we would be constantly monitoring them in the background to make sure there are no threats to the threats coming into the company or anything like that. Also, sometimes employees will mess around and download something that they should not download. And Mr. Hansen can catch that too. So kind of like I mentioned, he's like a 24/7 support guy. If you're having a problem, like at 9 at night, and you call Mr. Hansen, he'll most likely have a solution for you. If not then early that next morning. So he really is like probably the best business grade technician that there is. He's extremely good at what he does. And then kind of like I touched on earlier, a lot of the times with business IT, it's almost, there's no guarantee that who you call for your IT support for your business is actually going to be even near you. My fiance does IT support for a company, and I can guarantee you some of the companies that he helps with IT, they're out of state with us. So a wonderful thing about us is we obviously have that brick and mortar store that you can always come into. It's not something where we're going to have to, if Mr. Hansen comes across a problem and you need a new computer or you need this or that, he'll run to the store and get it. You're not waiting on anything like that. And he has all sorts of different levels of plans too. So it really is supposed to be customized to the business itself. So we do other things besides just, repairing and sales as well. We recently, about midway through last year, started our consignment back up. So basically how that would work with us is you would bring your device into the store. We would take a look at it. We would talk about pricing, and just like with normal consignment, once it sells, we would take a portion and you would obviously take the rest. How that's helpful is you're not having to worry about chasing people around trying to sell your things. We do it all for you. We have very highly trained salespeople that know what they're doing and definitely can get things moving for you if you do decide to consign with us. At the moment, we're really only doing computers and computer components. We are looking out and seeing if there's anything else that we can do as far as consignment goes, like consoles, tablets, things like that. But we're trying to start small for right now. So another thing that we do is remote support. This is brand new as well. We have never done this before. So it works like you would think it would. You would give us a call, hey, you're on your computer, all of a sudden something won't pop up on there that you need to, and you need help right then and there. You can't come to the store. We understand that. So you would just give us a call. We would talk it over, whatever issue you're having, and just make sure that it's something that we're confident we could correct for you over the phone or remotely. We don't want to, get you on there and then all of a sudden, oh, wait, we can't do this. You're going to have to come to the store. So we would talk about it a little bit first, make sure it's something that we can address. The remote software that we use is pretty secure and it's pretty easy to download as well. We would direct you to our website, and there's a link on the website that will launch the downloader for you. And then I'm sure, as you guys are mostly aware, just to be safe, I would probably delete it afterwards, just in case. All right. So do we have any questions about that? Yes, sir.
Except like any parts from computers. If my son has a bunch of parts from old computers, would you take those on and do something with them?
Yeah.
I mean, because really, to him, they're zero value, because he's always getting a new thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we do. So we actually are a drop-off point for y'all's November percenters. The Capital Area Corporate Recycling Council. We're a drop-off point for them. So you're more than welcome to drop off anything that you want to, and then about once a month or so, they come and pick it up. There are sometimes we'll see something that's like, oh, wait, that can be used, but we normally tell the person dropping it off first, hey, just so you know, this could be used. Are you sure you still want to? And if you say yes, then we'll recycle it for you. We don't really use parts that have been given to us like that, just because we don't exactly know like the wear and tear on it, how long it's been used. It's just not a fair business practice to put stuff like that into computers that we sell. Now, occasionally, if we have a customer that's in a bind and really needs something, we might work our magic and try to get something going from that. Maybe we can find something in the recycling, but for the most part, it just goes straight to Capital Area Corporate Recycling.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anything else? All right. So one of the things that you and me talked about a little bit is touching on AI. And I do have a little section here dedicated to AI because that is a brave, like a brave new world when it comes to computers and technology. And it's actually been around a lot longer than most people think. So I will speak on that just a little bit. So what exactly is AI? So in essence, AI is technology that allows devices to think like humans. And as far as human learning, comprehension, problem solving, creativity, and autonomy. So a really good example of AI that's been around for a long time is something I personally hate. I'm sure you guys hate it, and that is automated answering systems. So when you call your bank and they're like, if you could speak to us and tell me your bank number over the phone, that's AI. A lot of car dealerships use it these days too. I used to work at Price LeBlanc, and I know that they had a little AI that kind of helped with not troubleshoot, excuse me, that helped with scheduling and stuff like that. That's AI as well. So any type of automated answering system, that is probably a pretty early form of AI. The earliest form, I believe, goes back to the 1950s. That was like one of the very first AIs. It looks nothing like we would think it would today, but it was there. So another example is weather predictions. A lot of weather apps and stuff like that will use AI to help estimate what kind of weather there's going to be. A huge thing is advertising and social media posts. Most of the I can confidently say that most of the social media posts that you see where it's an advertisement has probably been run through some type of AI just to polish it off, unless they're just really, really good at what they do. That's true in just about every single type of business, whether it's cars, even computers, clothing brands, anything like that. It's a lot easier for companies to just use AI to generate their advertising than it is to hire a human to do it for them, which is very unfortunate. And this is most people know this, but like Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, Microsoft's Cortana, those are also AIs. Autocorrect is a form of AI, which is really interesting in mine. Streaming platforms. So if you're on Netflix and it will tell you like, you like these shows or you watch this, so you would like this. Companies are using AI for that as well. And then the biggest AI right now is ChatGPT. So that is probably used by every single student in America. And I would say a lot of business professionals to kind of polish off emails and whatnot as well. So just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that you can do with ChatGPT, it's actually really cool, in my opinion. So I kind of use the example, excuse me, I'm jumping ahead, my fault. So how you would kind of get to ChatGPT, and I'm so sorry if this is oversimplified, but you would literally just type in ChatGPT into your browser. It will probably be the first one that pops up. It's the red circle. And then you would just tap the try ChatGPT black button with the white text. It's going to ask you to log in. You don't have to log in. I never log in. So this is what the screen that you're going to see. Now you can do anything with this. You can say, I only have potatoes, milk, eggs, and seasonings in my pantry. What is something I can make with that? And it will tell you. If you are looking for a movie, I know. Yes, sir. I can actually show you here in a second. I don't have that exact example, but I tried it just this morning. So another thing that you could do is if you're a fan of one movie, you can say, hey, I really like this one movie. What are 3 other movies that I would like? And it will give you 3 more movies. In fact, that's actually one of my examples. So I really like crime shows. I really love like Criminal Minds, NCIS, stuff like that. So that was my example. If I really like the TV show Criminal Minds, NCIS, and Blue Bloods, what other shows would I like? Limit the answer to 3. Now, you guys can take that off if you want to. I just said limit the answer to 3 so the entire results would fit on my PowerPoint. But you can leave that part off and it will give you like 10, 15 different ones. So for instance, this is what it came up with. So it has Law and Order, Chicago PD, and Castle, and it will tell you why it thinks that you would like that. Now, let's say you've already watched Law and Order. You've already watched Chicago PD. Well, you can refine your results. So you would type in at the bottom, I've already seen the first two. And it will say, okay, we'll remove those, we'll remove those first two. And then as you can see, it kind of gave you a whole nother list. So it's a really, really interesting technology that's really fun to play around with. So these are kind of some of the other prompts that you can use. So kind of like what I said earlier, the recipe with eggs, milk, potato, ground beef, and then it will give you a recipe. If you're having a hard time understanding something, and no matter what source you're looking for, no matter how you Google it, something's still not catching, you can ask it to explain certain things to you in a simple way. So cryptocurrency, for example, that's something not a lot of people understand really how it works. And if you say, explain cryptocurrency to me in an easy way, it will give you a very easy to understand definition. And if you're still kind of not understanding those things, you can ask it to elaborate for you. Say, can you expand more on blockchain, which is a part of how cryptocurrency works. Or it's like the one that I have too, which is really fun, write a funny 34th birthday message to my friend Alex. You would think that it would give you a very generic, like, happy birthday, we love you. No, it will actually give you something that sounds and looks very good. You can even do more than that, say, write a serious but lighthearted message, and it will adjust that tone accordingly. And just kind of how I said earlier about refining your results, if there's something that you do not like about that message or whatnot, you can ask it to remove it or reword it. I'm in college, so sometimes I have a hard time understanding certain things in my classes. I will actually ask ChatGPT to explain explain a book to me, or maybe I'm not quite understanding why Moby Dick is so important. It will actually summarize the book really well for me. Something that a lot of young people are using ChatGPT now is they're using it for their resumes and for their cover letters. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I would just add to be careful with doing that, because there are certain fields that will actually run your resume and your cover letter through an AI checker. So for instance, if you're in the tech field, I would not recommend using ChatGPT to write your resume or cover letter. They will know. I guess it just automatically pops up for them in certain spots with whatever software that they use to go over your resume and whatnot. Another thing that you can do with ChatGPT, let's say, for example, you're thinking about getting a dog. Well, you can't really decide, are you going to adopt a dog or are you going to get a dog from a breeder? Well, what are people online saying? Well, one article you find is going to say, oh no, that's horrible, you should never get from a breeder. Another article is going to say, well, you shouldn't get from a shelter because you don't know exactly what's wrong with them. But if you actually ask ChatGPT to tell you, like, what are the pros and cons between this, it will give you very succinct and exact reasons on why you should or should not do that. And that works for anything too. Like whether or not you should go to vacation in Texas versus Tennessee, anything really. It will give you a really nice little succinct answer too. So just to kind of give you like more of a real-time version of it, let me get up here. Okay, so I already have it loaded up. It just went right there for me. I use it, like I said, I do use it quite a bit for school to help myself understand certain things. Yeah, so let's kind of go back to one of my earlier ones. Explain Moby Dick in 1 paragraph. Enter. And then here it goes. So it writes out that, and then that paragraph, I've already been through this with my last semester of English, so I'm not going to read out. But let's say this doesn't exactly get you what you want. Well, you can refine it even more. What about the themes? Ooh, I can spell. Explain Moby Dick in one paragraph. So what about the themes of the book? So there it will go. We'll just go on and on about the different themes and whatnot. So let me kind of restart this and just do another one. Chat. Okay. I only have potatoes, beef, in my pantry. What can I make? Ooh. It might not see what I jumped the gun on that a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So it pulled it up while we were waiting. So what you could make is a ground beef and potato skillet. And so not only will it give you the ingredients, it will give you the instructions as well on how to make it. So when I say you could literally put anything in here, I mean that. However, ChatGPT can be used for things that are considered less savory as well. So right now in colleges, there is a problem with people using AI in order to write papers, which you can do. You can put in here, write a 5-page paper on this essay. The only thing that you'll have to do is go in and find credible sources that match up with that the best you can. So there are bad things that you can do with it. I just recommend that, you know, if you are trying to do like a resume or something like that, I would recommend let ChatGPT kind of give you an idea of what you want to say and how to word it and structure it. And then make sure that you give it your own personal flair as well, just so, you know, you're not raising any flags on any of these softwares that these companies use. And then also warn your children of this because colleges do have software that they will run papers through and it can tell very accurately if you used AI. Some professors are so good at it, they can spot it like without even running it through just because AI uses certain phrases a lot of different times. So if a professor sees the same phrase, you know, multiple times throughout a paper or like across a bunch of papers, they're like, oh no. So let me come back here. Okay. Thank you. And that is it for me. Yes. Did y'all have any questions about the ChatGPT or the AI?
You go to ChatGPT
Yes, ma'am. Here, let me pull it back up for you.
and
Here you go. I did go through that pretty quickly. I apologize. So you would just type ChatGPT into Google and it should be the very first one that you see. Should say introducing ChatGPT / OpenAI.
ChatGPT isn't the only AI. ChatGPT isn't the only AI.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm aware. I'm just trying to give y'all an example of how to use it. But there are other sources, so like Grammarly is kind of a similar thing that you could use too. Mhm.
Grammarly,
Yes, ma'am.
that comes on, it pops up, on Google.
Yes, ma'am.
And says you want Grammarly to help you.
Yeah. I believe that's a paid version of Grammarly, or at least they give you 1 or 2 free tries of it. I have tried it a couple of different times just to see what it's about. I really think that it does good. It's a lot better for writing, obviously. It's more geared towards any type of writing that you might do.
And I do.
But I think it's a really good tool to use, like just to kind of make sure things are a little bit more polished. Now, the argument against that is, well, you know, we should be learning these things in school, like how to write good emails or how to be very punctual or have a large vocabulary, which I 100% agree with. We absolutely should be learning these things in school as well. But, you know, for somebody that might not have the biggest of vocabulary or might not know how to format an email or something like that, it's really good to kind of see how the AI does it as well. Just to kind of get an idea. And a lot of people do that. They'll use ChatGPT, not necessarily just copy and paste what it says, but just to kind of get an idea. And Grammarly too, same thing. Ma'am?
I'm following your instructions to get into ChatGPT.
Yes, ma'am. And this can be done on any browser. ChatGPT is a website, so it can be gotten on Firefox, Opera, just regular Internet Explorer. They don't call it that anymore, Edge. So any of them you can use it on.
So, how good is that as far as predictive data? So let's say if I give it something, which car would be better for me? It has better longevity, A or B, could it do something like that?
Absolutely. So what it's going to do is it's going to take all of the data that it can basically across the internet and all the sources that ChatGPT has access to. And it's going to automatically basically scan, for lack of better words, scan all of those sources and then combine that into the answer that it gives you. Now, ChatGPT is a tool though, so I would recommend, you know, especially for the car thing, you know, to also, you know, ask other people as well, just to see, you know, like on online forums, just in case, just to have the human element of it still, but it will give you a really good starting point to have a better idea. You could, yeah, consumer reports as well will tell you. I think, no, I think that the Carfax, I don't think that used to be free a very, very long time ago, I think. I don't think it is anymore. But things like that I would recommend just in case, you know. I'm very wary when it comes to just accepting artificial intelligence at face value. Just because machines can make mistakes, just like humans. There are, you know, situations where people will use ChatGPT to blaze through like a test on something like in school. And some of the answers will be wrong just because you're missing the context. Like the professor said that the answer was this, but ChatGPT is saying that the answer is this. Both are technically correct, but the professor is looking for something different. So that's another thing too that I try to tell people to just, you know, be a little wary of. It's a tool. It's not the end all be all. In the same way autocorrect is a tool to write emails and stuff like that. Would be what's up. And that's the next one that you would need to press right there. You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Good. Good. Y'all have any other questions for me? All right. You're very welcome. Y'all are very welcome.
to start the new year out.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
And I found this because I know you're over there working with all those men.
You have no idea. I am the only female in that building.
Only,
Yes,
I,
it's all men.
when you go home,
Oh,
a wine
you.
tumbler, and it says she believed she could, so she did.
oh, that is perfect. Thank you so much. I'm
Uh,
gonna have to make use of that tonight. These men stress me out sometimes.
I thought you would hold that, but I didn't think you were the only.
Yes,
Female.
ma'am, I'm the only one.
And put it on the desk and what I'm saying.
I will.
She did.
I know, if somebody says something to me, I'm gonna show them the cup.
Thank you so much. That was
Thank
quite an
you.
informative presentation.
I try.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to give y'all a little something more than just what we do, you know, I can
Right on
have them.
top of
Yeah,
that.